was enraged, man. I was enraged. I was starting nothing, but I gotta finish. And sometimes being enraged, people don't understand the concept of everybody can get it. I was in that place. I was in that space of everybody can get it. I don't care who or where and why. If you say something to me, it's that. I knew I was gonna go to jail. Man, I, was born and raised in Kansas City, Missouri, man. Like I said, my mom, my mom and my dad was two completely different individuals. My dad was more of a real quiet, laid back, working man. He worked at Colgate. My mom was, the life of the party. My mom was my gangster side, my side where it got real. My mom taught me the survival. My mom taught me the streets, my mom and my sister, because I ain't got no brothers. So just, really growing up on 12th Street, man, it was a crazy upbringing. Because really 12th Street based on families, man. If you ain't got no big family, hey, you got to come on with it down there. And so, my sister was more my brother, really just growing up and just really learning the streets. My dad would get me on the weekends. So I would go to church at Kansas City Baptist Temple, which is Graceway now. And so I would get a chance to see that side. And I had friends of all ethnicities and backgrounds and white, Caucasian kids and Hispanic kids and African kids, man. And I got a chance to really get into their world and see what their world was like and hang out with them and see. I had a friend named Jeremy Staub. His dad was one of the top guys, might have been the CEO of might have been I can't remember. It was a printing company. It was a big company. Dude was rich. He would take us out to eat and pay for everybody's everything. And I'm like, man, I ain't used to this life. You know what I mean? And, so just really going to there and just really going on church trips. And then I'm back in the hood and I see everything else, from the shooting and the robbing and the fighting and the, everything, man. And just really being a product of the environment. So just growing up on 12th Street, man, and learning the streets. And then, as I got older, I end up, my mom, not older, teenage years, 11, 12, my mom ended up moving to the 30s. So I was back and forth down there. Once you from down there, you can't get enough from being down there. So I moved in the 30s for years. But then I ended up getting me a apartment. Then my sister left me down there on 10th Street. So now I'm on 10th Street and 12th Street back and forth. So that's really, really my upbringing, man. I went to several schools. Middle school, I went to Northeast Middle School, went to Ray South Middle School. So I met a lot of the guys from Raytown South out there. I went to Metro Tech in high school. And then I end up, got into some major trouble, got into a big fight. And I had to transition over to East High School, where they would allow me, because I was pretty good at sports, so they would allow me to keep playing sports. So instead of expelling me and kicking me out and sending me some type of alternative school, my sports saved me. And I was able to go to East High School and finish that out. They really gave me an option to go to Center or East. I know if I went to Center, I would have graduated. Nah. I definitely would have graduated at Center. Central, I had a lot of haters, what I would say up there. Plus, there was a lot of women up there that weren't going to let me graduate, man. So I graduated in 98. That was really my upbringing, man. I mean, the streets was rough. You having to fight all the time, having to protect yourself. And, it was a rough upbringing, man. But I wouldn't give it up for the world. It made me who I am, The fighting and how I done seen people get shot in front of me. And, man, I seen it all. My mama shot one of her boyfriends in the hood in front of everybody, man. So I seen it all, baby. I've been there. I done seen it and seen it all happen, man. But like I said, I wouldn't change my upbringing for nothing in the world. It made me who I was. And it also gave me seeing my dad, who worked so hard for a company, and he was also an entrepreneur, seeing him do what he did, it gave me the work ethic that I have, to see him make that happen. Like I said, man, but that was kind of my upbringing, man. Just, really, I got a mix of a little bit of everything. I got a chance to check it all out.
Yeah, I want to run through some of that though. But first, with being in the hood, seeing all you seeing, then going then going over to where your dad is in the more, I guess,
Suburb.
yes, suburbia area. Did it feel like, was it hard to adjust to that culture over
Absolutely.
there?
Absolutely. Man, when you come outside your house, I stay right in the middle of Parking Square. So
Yeah.
the circle was right outside my door. So you come outside, there's 500 people outside. It's a party. Every time we come outside, it's a party. We playing basketball, football, boxing. It's dice games going on. I mean, but it's everything. The girls is there. And to go into my daddy house where he lived in Raytown, I come outside and ain't another black person for 4 miles. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
I don't got no friends. I can't do nothing but sit here and play video games because there's nothing else to do because I'm not walking 4 miles to go hang out, you know what I mean, with Buddy and you know what I mean? I ain't doing that. So I would just sit at home and play video games and, you know, it was a different life. I wish I could have adjusted to it more. I would be in a better place sports wise, things like that, you know, as far as
Mm.
educational, because it was a 10 times better education out there, of course. You know, but I didn't want to adjust to it because I was having fun. So I went for fun instead of education. So yeah. My dad, he put me in a great situation, but I couldn't really understand it because I was so used to the party, going outside and there's girls outside. It was everything out there right there, man. It was a hard adjustment for me.
And if I recall, Boys in the Hood, right, it's kind of reverse. Your mama is in the hood, and your dad is the more. Yeah.
100%. 100%, man. And you want to be a part of that, man. You want to be a
Yeah.
part of that hood fun. It ain't no fun like that hood fun, baby.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it's something different, man. It is. It's absolutely something different. So for me, I just wanted to be a part of it, man. And that was really it, man. That was really it, you know.
Did you and your father get into it a lot because of how you wanted to be and how he wanted you to be?
My dad was real non-confrontational. Um, so I wouldn't say get into it, but he was disappointed, you
Yeah.
know. Him being disappointed in me and a lot of stuff was something that we went through a whole lot because he didn't want me to go back to my mama's house. He knew, like, son, this is it. You can do this here if you play the same sports over here. Like we got trainers out here, better schools, and I'm like, nah, you know. And I would always rebel against my dad because of the things my mom told me. So a lot
Mm.
of times we feel like we miss who your dad really is because your mom can cloud your mind to who your dad really is, and you won't accept him for who he is because your mom is in your ear saying, your daddy ain't do this. And I'm like, yeah. And my mama said, right, not knowing that what the situation and what it really was. I'm not seeing that. All I'm saying is my daddy ain't there like he should be.
Yeah.
But I'm not knowing that my mama done pulled a gun on my daddy before. You know what I'm saying? To put a gun on my daddy's head, or I ain't knowing my mama done threatened my daddy before. I don't know that. All I know is my daddy ain't there. Or my mama threatened my daddy and said, if you ever do this or do this, this is gonna happen. So I kind of played my dad and my stepmom against my mama without even knowing I was doing it. You know what I mean? Hey, anytime my daddy even did something, I'm telling my mama, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know, my mama said I ain't gotta take this. But again, it clouded my vision of what my dad really could have been to me because all I heard was my mama's voice because she was the main voice in my head. This happens all the time, bro. This happens all the time, and I'm going through it myself. It's kind of a deja vu. I'm going through it myself with my sons because their mama was the loudest voice because their mama wouldn't let them live with me. So since she was the loudest voice, she was able to get in their ear different than I was. So she was able to teach them some stuff that I couldn't teach them and really, you know, they still daddy's boys. They love me. But at the same time, you know, they mama's boys for real because they with mama. You see what I'm saying? So daddies get the bat and the stick there, man. But yeah. He was disappointed in me, man, because he knew I was a product of my environment, but that wasn't who I was. I was selling drugs as a, you know what I mean, a young man. My daddy was he was hearing about this, man. Your son is making this money, your son. and teachers calling my dad, your son driving to school and he ain't even old enough to get a license. And, I had to park my car around the corner, you know what I mean? And walk around the corner to get in my car, get the teacher stop calling the police on me, and my sister just left me a car. She left me a 4-door white Regal, man. I remember like it was yesterday, man. You know what I mean? She let me have a whip. I'm riding, listening to RBL Posse, man. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Did it bother you to know that you were disappointing your dad at that time?
My pops was my hero, man. So of course it bothered me. But again, my mama was in my ear and my daddy wasn't giving me no money. Right? And I was a money guy. I want more. I'm a gorilla, man. I'm different when my broke is different than somebody else's. So I'm a gorilla. You feel me?
Yeah.
And and it's just really that. I wanted more. My daddy wouldn't let me work for him. My daddy had a restaurant. Couldn't work there. I'm like, man, Pop, man, what you know what I mean? I can't work there. And he immediately was like, because you my son, you not gonna do the work that you're supposed to do. You're gonna feel privileged. And I'm like, wait a minute though, you're not even giving me a chance. Let me see. And so a lot of it was the relationship me and my daddy had. And I didn't understand why he wouldn't do that. But that's he's given so many family members chances, to do that. And they screwed him every time. So he like, my son gonna do me the same, and he doesn't give me the chance because of that. Now I rebelled against him for that too. And I'm like, man, you ain't even give me a chance, man. You can't tell me what to do over here, and you didn't give me a chance over there. So if you would have gave me a chance and I could see you saying that and I do what I'm supposed to do, but you gave everybody else a chance. It's all kind of girls from my church working there, and dudes I've been cool with working there, and dudes I went to church. I'm like, man, everybody worked there but me. So how does that work? So just, it bothered me, but I got over it real quick because again, hey, he wasn't giving it to me, so I figured it out.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Taking whatever you would take from church, going with your father, then coming back to the hood. Sometimes some of that stuff like come out and we don't even know it's coming out when we around the partners and stuff, and they can easily like deter you from that type of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
You may say something and to try to get them to thinking, and they'll be like, nigga, gone with that.
All the time.
So how was that for you? Like, did you ever experience that type of stuff?
All the time, man. You'd be surprised how many people don't really believe in God.
Yeah.
So, I knew I had something about me. I was different. I was cut from a different cloth. So I'd never been a follower. I'm a leader. Even when I was younger, I'm going to be a leader no matter what. I'm the life of the party. I'm going to come in. I'm going to light the room up. But, there's been several times that I've said, where I went and I've heard a message from church and I'm like, man, we got to be better. Or, God said this, man, we ain't supposed to do this. And man, come on with all the God, it just didn't go well with a lot of people where I come from. So, when you go to church and you get that spirit and you hear God's voice, you hear him talking to you, and then you go there, it's like it completely removes everything you've learned on a lot of levels. So I dealt with that a lot. I dealt with a lot of people who would negatively, they would steer me away from wanting to, kind of like school, man. You a nerd, you a geek, you a square.
Laugh.
You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing, man. But for real, all the squares and the geeks is the one that's really winning. The ones that was in the hood that was doing all the, they dead and gone. They going to jail. But the squares and the geeks that was getting good grades, they winning. They got the baddest chicks.
Yeah.
But they got the baddest chicks later. See, we got the baddest chicks in school. They all pregnant. Everybody doing bad. Everybody figured it out. You feel me? But they got the baddest chicks after. Now they living a life. You know what I'm saying? They doing their thing, bro. So, yeah, it's the same thing, bro. They found up on it. And they made me feel like, my daddy was brainwashing me to hear mess and all that other stuff, man. So it would stop you from wanting to know God more. It would stop you from wanting to go to church more. On a lot of levels, man, because so many people so negative around you. And when you're around them every day, whether you know it or not, your circle gonna always have some influence on you. Even though you're a leader, it's still gonna have some influence on you regardless of the situation.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, being around it every day. So that's what it was for me.
And when you were in school and stuff, did you take to the nerds and stuff like that? Even though your homeboys didn't, did you like
I
invite them?
rock with
Yeah,
everybody.
you rock.
Hey
Okay.
man, listen, I kick it. Hey, one thing about me, man, the nerds was my homeboys, the white, listen, white, black, everybody. I kicked it with everybody, but some people would be intimidated to hang out with me because of what came with me, right? But I was cool with everybody, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was kind of like, I would call it a protector. I don't like bullies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like bullies. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you ask somebody else, they would say I was somewhat of a bully too. In middle school and all that other stuff in school, we was doing all the fights and stuff. But I was never a bully, man. What happened was, I never started nothing. I'm a finisher. I don't start nothing. I don't bother nobody, man. I get my bag. I stay on my little lane. But if you bother me, we gonna go there. You know what I mean? We gonna go there. I promise you we are. And the crazy part about it is that's how I live my life. My mama taught me, well, I ain't gonna say shoot first, ask questions later, but swing first, ask questions later. So my mama taught me that. And growing up on 12th Street, I used to get my butt whooped, man. Them cats was vicious down there, you know what I mean? And I wasn't no fighter. I like the girls. I'm teddy bear man. Hey man, I don't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep out my teeth. You feel me?
Yeah,
Hey
sure.
man, I done seen people get killed fighting, man. Hey, that ain't my thing, baby. You feel me? I like my face to be, leave my face alone, man. I don't want all that, man. So I hated fighting, but I got whooped so much that it happened. It turned me into a monster. So now, let's go. It only took that one good fight. You know that fight with them tears come out of you? Get to making all them noises. It took that one fight, that one good punch, knock somebody out. Okay, I can do it. Let's go. You know what I mean? So that's really what it was for me, man. But I love, man, listen, I was cool with the nerds. I was cool with everybody, man. I cool with everybody. I just didn't really, my life didn't let me really hang out with them as much, but we shake hands at school, talk, and keep going. In class, we kind of, be cool with each other. But yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. As far as moms, in being in the household with moms, what's some of the things that stuck to you most that she put on you?
My mom was smart as hell. I'm talking about, man, it's crazy how smart my mom was, man. And my mom taught me survival. She really did, man. She taught me survival, but she also taught me, no matter what, she taught me to grind and go get it. And she always made me believe it. There was a better life out there for me. She said, don't be like me. Go get it done. And those are the things that I really got from my mom, man. Just really survival and how to do things a certain type of way. I think that's my biggest takeaway from my mama, man. She cooked, you know what I'm saying? She taught me how to get in that kitchen and make it happen. She said, if you like to eat, you like to cook. You see, I like to eat real good, So I cook real good, man.
You like to cook early?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So my mom gave me all them principles, man. My mom and she didn't play about school. Oh my God. My mama did not play about school, bro. She'd pull up, and embarrass me in front of everybody. She didn't care. But you gonna graduate. I don't care if you do nothing else. I don't care how much money you making. I don't care what you doing. You gonna graduate. You know what I mean? And so she stayed on me, man. She stayed on me by any. I wouldn't have graduated without my mama. I wouldn't have. You know what I mean? Without her staying on me and, the discipline that she gave me. At the time you hate it because you don't want to get beat up. You don't want nobody put their hands on you. You hate it. But then later you look down the line and you say, man, I needed that. Or I definitely wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for her doing that. So yeah.
And I think, I don't remember if you called him your stepfather or your mom's boyfriend, the dude she put the gun to.
Yeah.
But what was your relationship with him? Like,
the dude she shot, because she put the gun on my daddy too. But she shot her boyfriend.
Got you.
Yeah, she shot her boyfriend. And he was like a stepfather to me, man. He was in my life for some years, man. He was a stepfather to me, but he was abusive. And so I would be in my room sometimes and I would hear my mama and him in there fighting. And I was so young, and wasn't nothing I could do about it. I was so little, I couldn't do nothing with no grown man like that. And, one day, like I said, with them, I heard them fight again. And my mama said, you put your hands on me, it'll be your last time. Boom. And I just heard him running down the step. Boom, 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 boom. He running down the step. Boom. So she shot at him in the house. And then he kind of fell. He got up, ran out the door. She shot at him again. Boom. I'm like, man. And my mom had one of them old 38s. You know what I'm saying? You got 6 shots. And then she hit the corner. Boom. Hit him twice. You know what I'm saying? He fell in between the cars. And I'm like, that was my first time seeing somebody like that close to me really get shot.
Yeah.
And it was just happened to be my mama, boy. My mama.
Didn't play.
Mama was about that life. You know what I'm saying? So she, I keep saying was like, yeah, she chilling now. But yeah. Yeah. And then my dad just kind of told me, when she had put a gun in his head before, he was just like, they had some disagreements on some stuff. And my mama put a gun to his head and said, man, my Uncle Big Mike gave her a gun, put it to my daddy's head. But my daddy didn't tell me that until I was grown, you know what I mean? Where I couldn't even understand it my whole life. I'm thinking my daddy just bro, you a deadbeat, bro. You ain't really. And my daddy ain't never not been in my life. So I don't want to put that out there. He been in my life every other weekend. He come get me.
This was just your thoughts then.
Yeah. And then you want your dad to do more because of your understanding. And I wanted more from my dad, but I didn't get it like I wanted because of my understanding. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's really, really what it was for me. Yeah.
Well, was that the last time y'all seen your stepdad? You said he was like your stepdad, your mom's boyfriend. Was that the last?
I see him now. I see him. It be funny. I'll be laughing. Listen, listen. Because his daughter, it's my sister Kelly, and me and her, we rock. You know what I'm saying? We've been rocking forever. That's my big sister, man. And she ain't my real big sister, but she my big sister, so she supported me. Yeah. And me and her always. But he, I see him sometimes and I just be laughing. We cool. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no bad blood towards him. I was a kid. I can't respect no man to put his hands on a woman. Yeah. So we'll never be friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with him. I respect him. What's up, brother? How you doing? And I just look at him. I be laughing like, yeah, you better quit putting your hands on women, brother. You know what I'm saying? Next time you ain't going to be so lucky. You know what I mean? So you got to live with that for the rest of your life. Yeah. So you get what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? You put your hands on a woman, man. It's this crazy world.
Being so young when that was happening, do you feel like that messed up your mind any about relationships?
It made me not put my hands on a woman.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. I done been through some abusive on the other side relationships where women get so mad, they'll put their hands on you sometimes. Mm-hmm. They better quit playing with me. Like, you know what I mean? And when you're a man that won't put your hand on a woman, sometimes a woman gonna take that, and run with it and go too far, And but yeah, man, it just really made me have a vision of not putting my hands on a woman. Mm-hmm. And of course, that was really it. You got to treat women different. And I was raised by all women, for real. My dad was in my life, but it was all women that was right there every day, which was my sister, my mom. My Aunt Lisa was like my mom. And so my grandmother, that was my core, right there. But it was a lot of women in my life, not men. And the men that were in my life, they really was doing their own thing. They was older than me. So they was doing their own thing. So I didn't really have no family growing up like that. I just had my homeboys that I was cool with. That was really it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going back to your pops, what did you feel you needed more? Because I heard you said you needed more. You felt like you needed more.
Man, sometimes it's crazy just to hear I love you. I believe in you. We don't get that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's an emotional subject. You know what I mean? Like for me, and I'd be like, man, just tell him you love him, man. When last time you told your son you love him, And they don't even, it's different. Your pop's love is different than your mama love. Right. So it's like, damn. Yeah, bro. Yeah, just want to hear that. I believe in you. Mm-hmm. You got this. Yeah, it ain't nothing like that, man. So more time, more love, more for real, man. And I'm emotional because I'm a father and I lost my son. And I wish I told him I loved him more. But you
need to take a break real quick?
nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. My love for my son was like, man, it hurt when you think about it. But my dad made me not really uh I would say cold. I wouldn't say cold, but you're a product of where you come from. So when you don't really hear certain stuff, it's hard for you to give it. So my emotions ain't really there like they should be. So when I want to tell my lady or my kid, I love you, I don't do it. Hold them emotions in. Like, you didn't get that, so it's hard for you to give it. So yeah, man, yeah. That's crazy, man. That brought me to tears just thinking about that. That's crazy. But yeah, yeah. Time, love, encouragement. Get in my corner, man. Don't knock me for who I am. Rock with who I am. Don't try to enhance. Too many times we try to change our kids to what we want them to be.
Yeah.
Instead of kids are kids and people are people because they different. Right? They different, man. And yeah. But yeah, that's what it was.
I know where we from, or let's just keep it where you from. Like a lot of dudes don't have their father.
Yeah.
But the times you would see a dude with his father like active at events and stuff, would it bother you or would it like touch you in a certain type of way?
The lightweight of being my dad being in my life, boy, it got me in fights. It made a lot of people jealous of me because they seen my daddy. You know what I mean?
Oh, gotcha.
So, of course, when you see that, you see a dude, we at the basketball game, and his dad is there, you know, it kind of make you a little jealous, but not where I came from because wasn't no dads really around. So if it was 10 of us on the team, it wasn't no daddies around. I can't tell you there was one daddy from Mike Nash to all of us and Donut, everybody that was with us, man. You know, everybody that was hooping with us, Lonzo, Pooh, everybody, man. I ain't seen no daddies. I mean, we wasn't one daddy to travel with us. Not one. We didn't have a daddy that traveled with us that was coming to the game constantly. And sometimes it'd be 30 kids, 33 teams playing. Not one daddy, bro. Not one. I'm talking about, and I'm not exaggerating. Can't none of them dudes say their daddy was around like that. Calvin was our daddy. Calvin kept us out the street. That's why he was such a big deal. That's why so many people poured into him and his kids and gave him whatever he needed because Calvin was our daddy, bro. There wasn't no daddies around. Wasn't nobody rocking with us when we was doing all that, man. Nobody. So, yeah. I got more jealousy from the little bit of my daddy being around. You know what I mean? Because my daddy did, like, you know, Nintendos and Segas and
yeah,
I had all that.
I like that.
I had all that. You know what I'm saying? So cats didn't like that. You know, you think you better than, no, bro. Can I borrow your, man, people have to borrow, milk. Hey, bro, you can't borrow my game system, bro. You can't borrow my double dribble, you know? And so what would happen was, down there, people would borrow your stuff, but you'll never see it again. You know, you'll never see it again. So me borrowing is basically saying, let me rob you without robbing you. You know, a lot of times down there, and you had a couple people that you was cool with that you can really, that you can swap games with or whatever, or do stuff like that. But for the most part, nah. Let me borrow it. It's basically saying you ain't getting that back, homie. Yeah. So I learned that real quick because I was the nice kid. I was go ahead, bro. I can't play 10 games at once. Go ahead. And, you know, 1, 2 games. Hey, boy, let me get that game back. No, man, I don't know where it's at. I got to fight. No, and it ain't one fight. You got to keep fighting. Because you go home. I remember a couple times I went home crying to my mama. 2 more game. Yeah, okay. What you going to do? You should. What? Yeah. You going to let him take it? You know what I mean? Because only so much, bro. It's embarrassing to have your mama come and knock on the door. You know what I'm saying? Tell your son to get my game back. You know what I'm saying? So that's embarrassing. So now they start talking. So what you gonna do? You gonna keep getting embarrassed at some point? You gotta just put them hands up. You know? And so, but at the same time, you live and you learn, and you could let people borrow your games too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Do you remember the first time it flipped for you? Because you said at first you wasn't fighting and all of that stuff, and then you had to. Like,
Yeah.
do you remember that first situation where it turned you?
Oh, like it was yesterday. I was like 12.
What happened?
I was like 12. Man, I was coming out the corner store. We was up at Speedy's on 10th Street.
Yeah.
And I was walking out the store. And dude hit me in my face so hard for no reason. Boom! My head hit the wall. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was 11. And he was probably 15.
And you ain't know him at all?
Just know him from the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really know him. Just see him around.
Okay.
And bro, dude hit me so hard. I don't wish that punch on nobody. I couldn't see nothing. Bro, it felt like it was blood in my eyes. And because my head hit the wall too. So I'm sitting trying to figure out, man, you don't know what to do in that situation. Do I ball up? Do I curl up? Do I try to swing and just start? So I don't know. So when he hit me, when I finally came to, you know what I'm saying? He kind of just walked off. Didn't tell me why, nothing. I never knew why. And I seen him at Jubilees on 27. 2 weeks later, he came out of Jubilees. Bro, I hit this dude with the hardest punch I ever hit him in my life. I'm talking about one-hitter quitter, slapped him. And so I'm like, oh, shit. I mean, like, hold on, you feel me? One-hitter quitter, that's different. You know what I mean? Like, so it just really just kind of, okay, you know, and then I had me a couple other little touch-ups, and it was quick. Like, man, hold on, boy, these hands work. You know what I mean? So I start, you know, now you start to feel it yourself. You boxing in the wind, and now we shadow boxing. We really boxing, and we feeling ourselves, man. And like I said, man, it's a lot of boxing going on down there. It was some knockout artists down there, bro. You didn't want no parts of down there.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Carusos that passed away, the Sharkises, boy. It's a lot of cats down there that really got hands, bro. And you really got to be ready. You know what I'm saying, down there, bro. And them cats do that for a living. They just love to fight. Keith Jones out of from down there. Hey, man. hey, you got to be ready for war. So, man, but I was smart enough. I'm going to put it to you like this. I had hands, but I was smart enough to dodge it before it happened. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying by that is I don't want to fight if I don't got to fight.
Got you.
Now I'm going to see what it's about, you know, and then go there. I was never the hothead that said, man, let's go kill. Let's go do this. Let's go fight. I was never him. Mm-hmm. I was the person that I always let's see what it really is first. Because sometimes you fight and a lot of people are dead now over somebody else's mess, right? You know, you my homeboy, you don't like him, you don't like him. You want me not to like him just because you don't like him. Not knowing that you mess with his baby mama. You did some snake stuff, right? I don't know that though. I don't know you did some snake moves. That's why a lot of cats right now say, oh, Matt don't go for that. I ain't goofy. I'm not goofy because the cat that always get killed is the one that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You out here living your life doing what you doing because I'm in the car with you and we doing you done did some goofy instead of me telling you, hey man, that was wrong what you did, bro. Why is you over there? You know that's that man's wife. You know that's that man. Or why did you do that, bro? So then you done put your hands on this man's sister, right? I had a friend that I cut off because he put his hands on this I can't say it, well-known killer in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Huh? You said what?
No, I just said yeah.
Put his hands on the sister. And I'm talking about we was riding together every day. And I'm talking about not even a week later after he did it, he was gone. And I was supposed to be in the car with him where he was going. And I knew I would have been dead because they shot that car 100 times. You see what I'm saying? So I'm always the person to say, wait a minute, bro. Make it make sense first. I ain't gonna just say, let's go. I'm gonna say, make it make sense. Help me understand what's going on. And then we can move like that. You know what I'm saying? So I dodged, man. I ain't never been I don't play the tough guy. I ain't him. You know what I'm saying? But cats think I am. You know, because I done did my work, but I ain't him, bro. I'm chilling. I don't like fighting, bro. I love life. I love love. You know what I'm saying? I love family. I'm him. I'm family. Let's let's rock, bro. I'm your best friend. I don't want to be, bro. I done hired dudes that we done had full blown shootouts, fights, shootouts, all of that. I done hired them guys and they work for me. You see what I'm saying? That's the kind of dude I am. I don't hold grudges. I don't do none of that, bro. I'm chilling, man. Life is good, man. When you would really understand life, forgiveness is the key, you know? And then understanding, people are upset about something else that don't got nothing to do with you. A lot of cats is upset because they broke. So they mad because they wives is giving them hell or in the road rage, they flying somewhere and they just found out they brother got killed or shot and they running somewhere, you cut them off and they jump out and y'all arguing. He shoots you, not because he wanted to shoot you, but he shot you because he already enraged anyway. And we not understanding. Sometimes it's okay to stand down.
Yeah.
It's okay to stand down, man. It's cool. My man, obviously you got something going on in your life that you need to go handle, right? And so we get into fights, we get into shootouts and all kind of stuff over something that we just clearly didn't understand, right? Not because we needed to. So my survival has been different. No, I could have been dead several times, but because I understood differently, and my dad got a forgiveness ministry, man, and the ministry was like everything, just understanding, like how I had to forgive a young lady that killed my son. I had to forgive her. Because if I didn't, I couldn't. You can't function. When you hold on to pain, when you hold on to anger or frustration, man, you can't function correctly every day, man. Mm. You can't function correctly every day. It ain't possible. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be so mad, you're only thinking about going to get somebody back and hurt somebody that you can't function the way you need to function, bro. So I had to let that go. Certain stuff you got to let go. People that done wrong me, people that did some foul stuff to me, you got to let that go, man, because you're gonna live a painful life worrying about all the wrong people do to you, because people gonna be people, man. People are gonna be people. People are meant to hurt you and leave you. And if you don't understand that, that's a problem. People are meant to hurt you and leave you, man. And so for me, it was something that I had to learn. And it's been a key to my survival when I understand people are meant to hurt you and leave you. That's how it works, right? And we spend our life trying to give from people what we give to people, but it don't happen like that. I'm not you. You ain't me. So what you feel ain't what I feel. What you like ain't what I like. You understand what I'm saying? And so that was the thing for me.
Yeah.
Just learning it, man. Everybody different. You can't go on like expecting people to give to you what you give to people. So you got to give with a great heart, and the rest is the rest.
Mm-hmm. I want to touch on, what was the scariest situation where you almost lost your life?
Oh, I sure wish I could say names, but
No.
I can't. But it was a couple of, man. I remember I was working at Taco Bell on 31st and Van Brunt.
Oh, you did a regular job too. Cool.
Yeah, you hear me?
Okay.
Oh man, I had to. I had a regular job when I was 14, 15 years old.
Okay.
You feel me? But even in them jobs, I hustled.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? But I came out of Taco Bell, man, and it was me and my homeboy Edward Briggs. And Edward had a clean white Chevy on 20-inch all gold B laces. And I had a clean candy green T-top colors, on backs. I'm talking about, man, we had the spot lit down there. Huh?
Working at Taco Bell.
Oh, man, at Taco Bell, because we definitely was getting it in down there. Yeah. You come down there and get some tacos and some other stuff too at the same time. Yeah, so we was getting it in down there, man. It was crazy. But when I say we had the block lit, but I wasn't from over there in that area. Mm-hmm. I'm from 12. Mm-hmm. So the cats on the east side and in the 30s, they seeing this. They seeing they girls and all that coming up Taco Bell. And I got the block popping. I got 10, 15 cars out there on dates. It's a car show out there. They seeing this. Like, hey, well, who is this dude? You know what I mean? Yeah. And so me being from down there, I ain't got no whole bunch of cats from the 30s. I got some fam over there or whatever, and I had some cousins that was over there. That was some big names over there. My big cousin Nody used to, he used to make sure I was cool and straight on a lot of stuff. But so yeah, I'm coming out of there, and it's a funny story, man. I had my gun was in the thing, And I'm just thinking, it's quiet out there. Ain't nobody out there. It's 3:00 in the morning. So I'm thinking I'm just about to run in the gas station, pay for my gas, come on back out. I'm cool. So I run in there real quick. I'm coming out. Nigga here from behind the building. They give me the keys. I'm like, man, hold on, man. That motherfucker, it's running. The car running. And the dude got a little closer to me. And I'm like, bro, the car running, bro. Go do what you got to do. I don't want to die with no car, you know. And he got even I can't do nothing. I'm helpless. My gun in there. Mm-hmm. So he got a little closer. I'm like, man, I just kind of, swung at the gun, took off. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Man, he started shooting at me. But we right down the street from the 27th Street police station. So police up down the street all day, every day. Mm-hmm. So it just so happens, bro, God was on my side. Police was right there. When he started shooting, police was right there. Coming up the street. Boom. And they pulled up on him, you know what I'm saying, drew down on him or whatever. And I happened to know the cat, but I didn't know the cat.
Yeah.
You know, from what I was being told, he was on wet real bad. You know what I'm saying? So that was a crazy life-changing situation for me, because I'm like, man, now, man, they say it's better to be caught with than without. You know what I'm saying? Like, you changed my life on that, bro. So now you ain't gonna never, you know what I'm saying, put me in that situation no more. So 2 things I do is I'll never put myself in situations, and I try to, I was always taught, don't go nowhere you need a gun. So I try to stay away from certain places, for that reason, because I know me now. Because after that happened to me, it turned me into a monster. I didn't care no more. Life became different after that happened for me. You know what I mean? So I knew that no matter how good of a guy you was, they'll still kill you, right? And no matter how much you helped people and gave people life, money, they'll still kill you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that little situation changed my life. That was my first major brush with death.
Yeah.
Seeing my eyes flop. I'm seeing, boy, man, this dude was shooting at me, man. Like, bro, the car was right there. The car was running. You know what I'm saying? So my other question was, is this deeper? You know what I'm saying? Was it about the car? Was it deeper? And again, me and dude never had no runners before. You know what I'm saying? We never had no runners before. And so for that to happen, it was crazy. And I don't even know what happened to dude. Like, I never went to court, from the investigations, he disappeared right after that happened. So never seen him, never nothing. I don't know what happened to dude. You know what I'm saying? And I know he was gone. Cash told me he was locked up for a lot of years. You know what I mean? But it wasn't me. It had to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go to no court telling on him or nothing. I didn't have to. Because, I guess he maybe had some other stuff going on and the police picked it up. But they never came and got me, asked me nothing. Nothing. But dude was gone for years. So from what I'm being told, he out now. I'm sure I'll run into him here real soon. But that's how that worked, bro.
To go from the teddy bear that everybody knew you for, and then something like that happen and switch you up, did people around you notice the change in you? What?
Absolutely. Because I didn't care no more. You know what I mean? I didn't care when it came to being Teddy Bear Matt. I used to love everybody. And after somebody try to kill you and take your life, oh man, that's different. Like my circle became real short. Mm-hmm. And again, I know everybody. We can't go nowhere without people knowing Matt. I don't care where we go. We be going out of town. My kids be like, man, Daddy, how you know these people? Well, business, and stuff like that. But I cut a lot of people off that I was real close to, because I started to look at people for who they was. It made me look at people different. If you can rob and take from people, I don't want to be no parts of you. I don't want to have nothing to do with you. You still my homeboy. I got love for you, but I ain't gonna glorify you taking from somebody. I don't want to be, because I know a lot of cats got killed from other cats. So I'm like, man, I don't even want to be associated. So I cut my ties with a lot of cats, man. The cats was doing stuff that I couldn't see myself doing or being around. So it changed my life, man. Hey, man, when I say, and it made me evil. It made me evil, man, where I didn't really care. You know what I'm saying, about little stuff. But like I said, I never started something.
Yeah.
Can't nobody say, Matt, started nothing, because I ain't never started nothing, but I'm going to finish it. And some of the people, because of my principles, got away with some stuff that they shouldn't have, and my dad would pray with me and my mama, son, I don't want you to go to jail. And my kids became more important than anything to me. Mm-hmm. Revenge is something that we live off of, but we don't understand our kids is more important than anything. So me coming home to my daughters and my sons was more important than me taking your life.
Yeah.
Even though I should have. But see, sometimes God got a shield over you. God said, I pulled you through that. He didn't hit you. Every bullet can come your way, but didn't one hit you. And he was like right here, bro. Like right here. He said, let me fight your battles for you. And I'm like, man, that's crazy. You see what I'm saying? Like, anybody that's ever wronged me, bro, 90% of them are dead and gone or they locked up. Anybody. I'm talking about, bro, when I say I got some type of favor, it's different.
Yeah.
And I believe in that, let God fight your battles. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, it's been that. It's been that way. So after I felt that, he said, revenge is mine. I'm like, man, that's crazy. Let me step back and let him do his thing. Let him do his thing, man. Let me get out the way. Because we was taught revenge is ours.
Yeah.
But all of them cats is in jail 15, 20, 30 years. And you kill who? Somebody that ain't doing nothing in life. No way. They not doing nothing, bro. They not. And so all the work that I put in, I'm going to give that up. And my kids is going to live a certain type of way because this dude was smoking wet and made a mistake. Nah, I ain't going to do that.
Yeah.
Now, I made some mistakes, in my life. I ain't going to say I didn't do nothing, but what I'm not in that situation, but I'm saying, but I ain't going to say I didn't do nothing, but I'm not perfect either.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect, but I did learn. I started letting God fight my battles, bro. I did, now again, I ain't going to start nothing, but if you bring it, I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to do what I got to do, but I ain't going to never go looking for no trouble. I ain't going to never go looking for, man, I ain't never been that guy. You know what I'm saying? So, too many cats too busy playing gangster. They don't understand that ain't it. Gangsters making it home to your family every night. Gangsters being a father to your kids. Gangsters being a real husband to your wife if you got one. Gangsters that. Paying your bills, being a stand-up guy. That's gangster. When you in your 30s and 40s, that's gangster. Like kid stuff is kid stuff. But when you become a grown man, that's where your gangster really at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, yeah.
And when you got in your first shootout, was it something you embraced or was it something you looked at like, I can't believe I'm here?
It wasn't even my shootout. I was shooting my homeboy. I was there. And when it go down, it go down. You can't say, that's why I had to change my circle. Because I'm loyal to the soil. And if you funkin', I'm funkin'.
Yeah.
Right? And I had to change my mindset on that. Because that's like I said, I started to say, man, why are you funkin'? You do rob people. Right? So I'm gonna be a fool to you keep running around here robbing all these people and I'm shooting and doing all this crazy stuff for you and you out here and I know you doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I know you breaking in these people's houses and holding people high. I know. So I would be foolish and that's why I had to but man, I mean, my first major shootout, it wasn't my fault. They were shooting my homeboy and we was really kind of parking lot pimping. You know how they go. And they pulled up on him. Because of some stuff that he did. And I'm talking about, them boys had some different artillery. I'm talking about, they had some guns I've never seen in my life. And I'm talking about tore some stuff up. But, like I said, you can have all the big guns in the world. If you ain't lethal with it, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You can have a 22 and win a gunfight. You know what I mean? So just after you got in it, man, I sit there like, man, like, my homeboy got shot twice. They hit me, but they was really going after him for real. But just being a part of that, man, it was some different stuff, man. But I've had all of those situations to change my life, to make me change my circle and the people that I was running with and hanging with, man, because that wasn't who I was. I never was him. That ain't who I was. And again, being a product of your environment, you're going to rock with people because that's where you come from. That ain't who I am, man. Man, listen, I'm a child of God, bro. I am. And my father, my mom, church. I don't care how gangster she was. Church, you feel me? And I come from a long line of singers. All my aunties or big name singers in church, and doing their thing. All my aunties was tearing it up, bro, on both sides, on my daddy's side and my mama's side. I'm like, man, that's crazy. Really, really more on my daddy's side. You know what I mean? But my mom sung at church, so I came from that. So I was raised right, bro. My grandma raised me right, man. I was raised right. Just them streets get a hold of you. You'd be surprised how many people that don't want to do nothing, but they don't want nothing to do with the streets. But the streets want everything to do with them. And that's why I do what I do now. That's why I do what I do now. That's the big reason why I do what I do now. Because I want to be the voice to say, bro, we can do it. Mm-hmm. Ain't gotta, so many people just need the door open, right? And it ain't that they ain't smart enough. It ain't they just need you to open the door and let you run through the door, and understand that you can make it. They need a mentor. They need somebody that can just really take them by the hand and say, come here, I got you. I know what you're going through. I know your pain. I know your passion. I got you. The door open, but you got to run through it, So a lot of people won't. That's why I do what I do now. Yeah, like Mike said in his interview, man, Mike ain't never been to no beach before. I took Mike out of town. Mm-hmm. Mike ain't never experienced Floridas and waters, man. He ain't never experienced nothing like that. He ain't never seen the Miamis, and they ain't never experienced that. But him being with me, it's giving him a different outlook on life. And bro, it's a different world out there. You'd be surprised how many people ain't never been out of Kansas City. They ain't never been. Sure. They ain't never been. My mom and my daddy never took me out. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think I was probably like 28 when I first got, Topeka don't count, but you know what I'm saying? But
that's crazy.
Really took a trip to Texas. I think I was around that age.
Yeah.
Coming, like, you got your old dogs who want to show the tape and all of that. How did it make you feel? Because we know in the hood, they gonna hear about it. When they'll come back and hear the stories of what you did and they try to root you on for it, but you don't feel like you should be doing that anyway. So how were you feeling in those moments where they would come and try to make you, they're giving you a badge for what you did, trying to hooray you for out there doing crazy stuff like that?
He loved every minute of it. It made him feel like Rambo. For me, I was always a smart guy. It scared me. Because when people know and you doing that, word get back to them cats that was shooting. And them cats that was shooting, some real cats. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm out there. I'm every Sunday at the park. I'm prospect every week. I'm out there. Let's ride. I'm public. I'm in the public eyes. I'm in Taco Bell. I'm a sitting duck.
Yeah.
He ain't. So for me, it did more scare me than anything, because when people find out what you was a part of, right, that could come back on you in a major way.
Yeah.
So again, man, I've never wanted that clout. Mm-hmm. The clout that I wanted wasn't a good clout, but I wanted to be the cat that got that bread. You know what I'm saying?
Got the women.
It gets it. That's it, bro. I get to the bag, and then I kept chicks around me. You know what I'm saying? So talk to me about some money and some chicks, bro. Don't talk to me about none of that other stuff. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about the whip. Let's talk about, that's why I ran with cats with money. I didn't like running with cats. Man, if you was broke, I didn't like running with you. Dog. What we gonna do together?
Yeah.
I gotta pay for everything. Right? So associate me with that, man. But it's not a fun. He loved it. He loved every minute of it. Like, yeah, we are. I'm like, bro, I don't know what y'all talking about. I had nothing to do with nothing. Mm-hmm. Boy, we seen you. But you didn't see me doing nothing. So, hey, kill that, right? Don't even be spreading that. Take that off my name. I didn't do none of that. I was sitting over there in a cut, bro. man.
Yeah.
So I'm not a stupid dude. I hope nothing going back to them dudes saying Matt did nothing because I don't know who. You don't know who got hit, who
Yeah.
didn't. You feel me? You don't know who. You don't know. You see what I'm saying? So now you out here running your mouth and y'all doing all this talking. We don't know who. Then that come right back on you. So it's like,
Yeah.
but man, when I say my growth, it was phenomenal, bro. My growth man, it was phenomenal, bro. I thank God every day for who I am today. From all the stuff that I've been through and all this crazy stuff, man. And I never had no crazy record or none of that. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Good.
yeah, yeah.
We talk about a lot of the times we go outside and you feel like it's love out there from what they present, until you had that situation where one of your home, because you said like you didn't like being around broke people
At all.
but there were broke people
A
around
whole
in the
lot
hood
of
and
them.
stuff. So that brings on snakes or people who don't have as much as you. They may not be broke, but they don't have as much as you, and they don't like that. They like that girl that you got, and they mad that you got her. They may not tell you, but they mad. So, what did your first snake situation look like, or the snake situation that turned you?
Man, me and my kid's mother, uh, we was living in Twin Elms for a minute. And we was doing our thing in Twin Elms. And I didn't sell the stuff that I started selling in Twin Elms until I got over there. I met her cousin over there who was making all kind of money, and he was like a big name in the city. Everybody knew him. I met him, and I was really dealing with the green. She kind of plugged me with him because like every day I come in the building, they would be like, "Hey man, you look like you got it." I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't got what you do." You know what I'm saying? I ain't messing with that. I'm scared because I was scared of jail time, bro. I
Yeah.
wasn't messing with that. So one day, one of my kid's mama, she was kind of rocking with it a little bit. One of her old little people she dealt with just like boom. So we started doing it. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of money in it. For one day, I lost my mind. I was like, man, I made like $4 or $5 grand in one day. I said, what? Wait a minute. You don't do that with this? Hold on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I lost my mind, bro. It wasn't even real to me. I ain't gonna lie, man. I sit on my couch and I sit there for like 30 minutes. TV was off. No, nothing. I thought I was tripping. I'm like, this can't be real that you can make this kind of money, just doing that 4,000 or 5,000. So I'm sold. I was in the game. After that, I was in the game. And then we had let her nephew come and live with us. And I'm feeding little dude, and when I would be gone, like this is like my little brother. Like he like my son, bro. He was a lot younger than me. So he was like my son. And I'm feeding him, I'm giving him whatever. Hey bro, when I'm gone, you eat, bro, he eating. I come, bro, he made $1,000. You know what I mean? Like he was eating. And one day I came home and I had just freshly re-upped. And he knew where all my stuff was at. All my money, all my stuff was gone. Here's the crazy part. He locked the door. He did it real clean. Like, he just walked in, took everything, and walked the door. He left the door and locked the door back, man. I said, wow. I said, man, so I knew it was him. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even a question or not if it was him. But that was my first major, snake situation. But I've had several since then. But that was my first major one that hurt me in a major way, man. And I done had cousins, try to pull some little slick stuff. And I done had, man, listen, homeboys that I gave packs to, cats that I done fought with, did whatever, took care of their families when they was locked up, got out because I didn't give them $1 million. And I'm like, man, hold on, bro. You know what I mean? That ain't my job. I didn't put you in there. You know what I mean? And, but cats really get in their feelings, bro, because they count your pockets and they see how good you're doing and you have certain friends that you didn't have before. when everything, really kind of hits the fan like it do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
What was the thing that hurt your feelings the most dealing with the streets?
I would say my little cousin. My little cousin, man. Losing lives, of course,
Yeah.
is the worst. I've been to, I know we had 1 year, like I even, like with Mike, I was like, Mike, man, you gotta quit posting all these obituaries, man. Come on, bro. Like your page is draining. Like,
Mike
and bro, when I say Mike can post an obituary for every day of the week for a year straight, because we lost so many people. We from 12th Street. So we got 12th Street and 10th Street, it's thousands of people, man. We grew up with thousands of people, not to mention people we went to school with and all that other stuff. So, you could find yourself posting a obituary every year. We lost a lot of people, but my little cousin, man, he was working for me. He was living in my house, driving all my cars. I'm talking about kicking it, driving. I'm talking about like it was his. He would even tell girls and stuff. I didn't care about that. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? And so, he was over this girl's houses, and one of the girls liked me, like on a whole nother level. Like she was like obsessed with me. And he was just over there like, yeah, I'm about to take this from him and I'm going to take that and I'm going to rob him and I'm setting this up and I'm setting that up. He just blowing on me. And when I say this is my little cousin, because it's my favorite, I would have died for this little dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, just blowing on me. And so she calls me, speaker, I'm hearing all of this. And my other cousin was over there with him. So my cousin that was over there with him, I hear him like, bro, you tripping. Like, man, Matt, no, he had my back. He was, but what upset me, what hurt me is even though he had my back, he didn't come to me and tell me that he was saying that. So I lost two of my closest cousins because of that. You know what I mean? And it hurt, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, so when he got done blowing on me to the chick, she called me. I'm over there hurt. Like, man, I want to come over there. And she was like, come on. Send me the address. So, but as I'm going over there, I got a feeling I'm talking to God. Man, don't you do nothing stupid. Just know that you seen him walk out. You know what I mean? And the rest was the rest. But I had already heard enough on the phone anyway. Like I knew his voice, but then I seen him walk out. And I pulled off. I let him see my car. You know what I'm saying? I let him see me. Pull off so they could see me. And I pulled off, man. And when he came back, I had somebody come take all the stuff out of my house, and when he came back, he was like, man, what's up, cuz? I'm like, man, I give him my keys, you know what I'm saying? I took all my keys from him and everything. But that was the thing that hurt the worst, because that's a different backstabbing. Like, he was working for me. I put money in his pocket. He drove my cars. I love dude. Like, to this day, I ain't got no words for him. He hurt too. He keep, I ain't got no words for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? People mess up with $1 million relationships for moments. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the one that hurt the most.
How old were you when you dealt with your first loss in the street, except as far as a human that you were close to?
My first loss in the streets?
Yeah. Or just
19.
The hood, yeah.
19, 20, 1920. I took my first loss when I was 1920. Other than that, it was smooth selling. It was smooth selling. I remember I was a manager down at McDonald's down the street on Prospect when they first opened it. And I have 20 cats waiting on me to get off just to play dice, shoot dice. They wouldn't shoot dice for nobody else. They was waiting on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I was busting games up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So it was smooth selling. I was hustling. I would bring 2-3 bags of McDonald's hamburgers and sell them. You know what I'm saying? And then I hit the block. We shoot dice. So I'm getting money both ways. You know what I'm saying? So I was getting money on the other side. Then I had my check. Then I was getting money selling hamburgers from McDonald's. Hey man, so we was gambling, man. So yeah. But that's why I took my first loss, man. I was like 19, 20, and sometimes I ain't never been robbed before.
Good.
No, I've been attempted, but that was my robbery where he took that. But other than that, just got some bad stuff, you know, where you felt like, man, you know, and then that's my first loss, just getting some bad work, you know, when I was younger, 19, 20. But other than that, bro, I've been blessed, but I shouldn't be saying blessed when we talk about what we talk about. But I ain't took no major losses like that for real, man. You know
So
what
to
I mean?
be clear, I was talking about like death, like losing somebody in the street, like one of your closer homeboys and stuff like that. Like how it was.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Um, my homeboy Don was my guy, and but Don was in the streets heavy,
Yeah.
you know. Losing Don, me and Tubbs, it was me, Tubbs, Don, and we were all like that, man. Like I said, I grew up on 12th Street, but Autumn was it's weird because Mike kind of brought it up in his interview talking about the 12th Street, 10th Street phone. I don't see a difference. I think it's north. It's north side.
Yeah.
I don't see a difference. I don't care what nobody say. I don't, you know, at one point I think everything was just North Pole, 12th Street, whatever. I didn't see the difference. I still don't. You know what I mean? People ask me, you hang with them cats? I'm like, man, I'm hang with everybody. That's y'all thing. I grew up with everybody, so I got love for everybody. So that's what it was for me. But Don, man, he was on 31st, man, at Happy Foods. And they killed him. And Tubbs, which was my brother, which me and him had an R&B album coming out.
Oh, you sing too?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and him had an R&B album. I got a rap album out too. I never put it out. I put out a rap mixtape. It was dope though. I did a lot of shows, had fun, but I never took myself serious, man.
Okay.
It was fun for me, you know. But I had an R&B album coming out with him. We got a lot of songs in rotation right now. We still got a lot of DJs playing our stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my regular stuff, solo stuff, whatever. But he sung at his funeral and he got killed the next week. So it was like, this can't be real, you know? But that was probably what hit me the most, man. It was hard because, you know, Tubbs was really changing his life. He's a family guy. He loved his kids. He loved his family. He was changing his life, man. But when I say, bro, so much death, I'm immune to it now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm immune to it, bro. Like, I go to funerals and be like, another funeral, you know? And it's like, it's crazy, but, you know, that's how it's been. That's how life's been. Another funeral, man. Yeah. But that was the one that hurt me in a major way. Because, you know, both of them was trying to change. I don't know to what extent. From what I heard about Don, I don't know how true it was, but both of them was changing, man. He was going to church. Tubbs was singing in church. You know what I'm saying? He was super involved in church every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't related. It wasn't related. Tubbs was doing something on, from what I was told. He was doing something on Facebook, selling some Facebook stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and Caucasian gentleman, you know, wanted what he had. Jumped in the car, you know, whatever he was selling from the Facebook Marketplace, and tried to rob him and shot him. Also Facebook Marketplace stuff, man. And they called him in jail because it was on the news. But no, whatever Don had something going on was completely different. So to be at his funeral and then he sing at his funeral, and then a week later, not even it was 6 days after he got killed.
On some unrelated. Yeah.
Unrelated, bro. Unrelated. So that was probably the biggest loss that I took because it happened back to back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, outside of my family, them was my family. You know what I mean? So even though I didn't rock with them every day, they worked for me. I got them jobs. I kept people off the street. Bro, I done gave thousands of criminals, you know what I mean, catch fresh out of jail jobs, whatever, just trying to help them to keep their head above water because job opportunity didn't always there for felons. So been able to do that.
How old was you when you had your first child?
13, bro.
Oh.
Yeah. I was 13, bro. My son was, I was 13.
You definitely was still doing what you was doing in the streets. So what about your second child? How old was you?
I was 19. I never knew about my son, bro. I didn't meet my son till he was
13?
15. Yeah, I didn't know about him. It was my first time actually penetrating something. You know, we play hide and go get it and all that other stuff, but it was my first time actually penetrating something. And so yeah, his mama had one of them new houses up there on Brooklyn, on 12th and Brooklyn.
Oh,
So if you go up that hill, yeah. So you go up that house, 12th and Brooklyn right there. So we had a skipping party, and let's just say one thing led to another. And, you know, we never talked after that. We never talked. We never had a conversation. She disappeared. I disappeared. And come to find out, people were telling me 10, 15 years after, man, you remember a girl we went to school with? She got a son look just like you. I'm like, what? Wait a minute, who? And so they told me, you know, wasn't no internet back then, man. There wasn't no Facebook or wasn't no way, you know, finding nobody, man. And, you know, Black Planet didn't come out until, you know, a certain year, you know, whatever. So it was really that. And I seen her when he was 15. And then there was a lot of mess that went with that, but the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? It's my guy now, man. Him super close. I just spent Father's Day with him and his son. So he gave me my first actual grandson, but I got a lot of grandkids. I got 4 grandkids, man. I love all my kids, man. My kids is everything, man. They give me life. But yeah.
I mean, he was 15 by the time you met him. So how long did it take y'all to actually gain a relationship?
Right away.
Okay. So it wasn't no other dude in his life playing that.
But he was a garbage. He was garbage. I would like to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he had to know that my son wasn't his, because he don't look nothing like him or nothing like her. He looked like me. He looked just like me. So I would like to say maybe something deep down inside of him said that this ain't my son, you know. But dude was garbage, man. He treated my son like garbage, man. And I hate that my son had to be a part of that. You know, I don't know. I've been trying to, well, let's say I've forgiven, man. Let me not say that. I've forgiven some things that's happened, but yeah, he treated my son like crap. His mama and daddy raised my son. He didn't even raise my son. So the grandparents raised my son. She didn't even have as much in the upbringing as my son. You know, of course, she was there. She was a teacher, so she was there in his life, but he was raised by his grandparents or whatever. So it's crazy. I ran to McDonald's right around the corner on Hickman Mills for years. And he was coming around, and that was his spot. And I never knew. Look at me. I'm looking my son dead in the face. Never knew.
But you recalled seeing them at the... Oh, okay.
Nah, I just would know. Like, you know, I was in the front all the time, and I talked to everybody that came in there, and didn't recall. Nah, because he was so small at the time.
Yeah.
When I was doing that, he might have been 9 or 10. You know what I'm saying? When I was running that, so he was coming around there a lot. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I remember.
And he understood right off that you didn't know.
Okay. Yeah, but he didn't understand. Feel what I'm saying? He understood, but he didn't understand. So the understanding of it is, I know that you didn't do this, but at the same time, his mom in his ear.
Like
see what I'm saying?
Before.
So since mom in his ear, he gonna make me accept some of that responsibility, even though I didn't. He held grudges against me for years. We just recently had another talk about it. Like, son, if this was your situation, how would you? And so we looked at it. He was like, you feel me? Like, if you was in Texas and you had a wild night and this girl never told you, and then you find out 15 years later you got a son, how could he be mad at you? How could he know? Like, she never told you this. She made her God think it was his. So how can he be mad at you? He was like, you know what I'm saying? So real is real.
Do you remember how you felt finding out all of this though? Like when you actually established, oh, this is my guy. And when you seen him, did you know right off? You was like, yeah, that's mine.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nah. Because the first time I seen him, we was out in Belton. And she was at the gas station. And when I seen her, I'm like, that's old girl. So I walked up on her. I'm like, hey, what's up? She went nuts on me. Called me out my name. And, why you this? I'm like, what? You ain't been tripping on my son. Why you ask me now? I said, I just asked you a question. The only question that I asked you was, people said you got a son that look like me. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? And she just went berserk on me, but it was her defense mechanism to keep me away because she didn't want her lie to be exposed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? She didn't want her lie to be exposed, and that's what it would be. It would expose her lie. So she tried to push me away. So I seen she got out of the van. So I went to the van, and I looked at him. He looked at me, right? And when I looked at him and he looked at me, it was really that. It was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, this ain't my son. You know what I'm saying? He had a goofy look on his face. I'm like, nah, man, this ain't. Because, you know, as a person of where I am, you know, you got a vision of how you want your kids to look.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, that ain't my son. But he was my son. He was just he's my darkest son. And so, you know, I was like, man, we was in Belton. She was doing all the screaming and yelling. I'm like, the police coming, man. I know they coming. We in Belton. We can't do this. So I just went on ahead and pulled off. And I told God, I'm like, man, if you want him in my life, put him in my life. And I was going to and Diamonds, because me and Paul Masson had Final Track Records at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we was out doing our Final Track Records thing, and you know, I got my jewelry, got my chain, you know, cleaned up and all this other stuff, and she pulled up because she stayed right around the corner. Said, I need to talk to you. I'm like, all right, in a well-lit public place though, because you made a big scene there. And yeah, the rest was history, man. After we argued for I don't know how long, she made it hard for me to sing, but I ended up seeing him and we clicked. You know, I was a dad he was missing, you know, and then I was a cool dad. I got him going to school in Chevys on 26s with beat, knock, and candy paint on it. And, you know, I was a cool dad. I'm going to make sure he was straight. You know, I love my kids, so he didn't want for nothing. You know what I mean? So it was really that. Well, kids going to always want for something. I don't care if you give them everything.
Yeah.
You know? But,
yeah. So was the first day hanging with him, like, did you feel yourself trying to make up for a lot of lost time, or you just...
No. Man, I think that's the worst thing we try to do. I just want to get to know you, man.
Okay.
You know, tell me about you, man. Let me get to know you, you know, and let me tell you about me, you know. And I didn't do too much, even though he looked just like me. I pumped my brakes a little bit. And the reason why is because I took care of another young man for years, and he ended up not being mine. He looked just like me. I'm talking about ears folded down like mine, all of that. But he ended up not being mine. And it was like, man, how could somebody that look just like me not be mine, you know? But he wasn't mine. So I pumped my brakes with my son. I'm like, I'm going to get a blood test, bro, before I jump into the conclusions. No, even though, like I say this too, especially his baby pictures, man, it was like, this is me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just wanted to get to know him, man. We was chilling, talking, and, you know, let's hang out, man. Let's talk more. And I would pull up on him, and, you know, the rest was the rest. He moved in with me in no time. Like, it might have been a week or two. And he moved in with me, and we just started bonding. It was dope.
And at this time, he already had other siblings by you, right?
Yeah,
By the time
all my kids at that point. So I had my baby son, which was Malachi, and then I had my middle son, which is Lil Matt, and then he was my oldest son. So I had my daughter, Mimi, at the time, and I had another daughter, which was the oldest sister. Her name was Quinche. I got her from my kid's mother's relationship. So her father was killed very young at Chemical. And it's crazy. I own the spot right across the street where Chemical was. That's crazy. My bar is right across the street from Chemical. But you know, he had got killed, and so she was my daughter. And I don't care. That's my baby. You feel me? And then I had another daughter named Jay Shell I was married for like 17 years. And her daughter, I raised, it's crazy. I got in both of their life when they was 3. Both of them. And so, yeah, I got in both of their life when they was 3. And, you know, it was a beautiful thing, bro. And we all super connected. I'm talking about you would never think that they were stepkids at all because I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
If you mine, you mine. And just because me and your mama ain't together don't got nothing to do with me and your relationship.
Yeah.
So, I've kept, like my kid's mother, I ain't been with her in 20 some years, you know what I'm saying? 20 some years, but me and my daughter still like this. We connected. So, that's what I love about that part.
He
Yeah.
daddy to her. So how did, especially Little Matt, how did they make that adjustment to having a new big brother? Because Little Matt ain't the big brother no more.
They were so, I'm going to be honest. They were, I made it smooth and I made it work because I already was a dad to so many kids because I coached. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I always had the fun house. So it's on any given day, it's 10, 15 kids in my house. And I fed everybody and we kicked it and we was family. So I think it was an easy transition for that reason because I already had a whole bunch of kids around anyway. So my boys, it was a lot of mess. You did this for this one, but you didn't do this. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. That wasn't the case. He lives here. Opposed to you don't. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you think I spend more time with him, but I don't. But he lives here. You don't. So it was a lot of that.
I get it.
But we got through it. You know what I'm saying? My boys loved him. They love their big brother, man. It was dope, but they could be a lot tighter than what they are. They could be. I could see them being tighter, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They close. So we was all together on Sunday. So they close. They rock. They just ain't close as they should be. They don't hang out like brothers do or like they should. But they do have a gaze gap there. My youngest is 23. 22, 23, my youngest boy, and then he's 32, 33. You know what I mean? So, that's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You talked earlier about losing one of your children. Is that Little Matt?
Yeah.
Little Matt. How did you lose him?
Yeah. Man, our kids, again, sometimes can be a product of their environment. And my son, no matter how much of a father I was, he never had to worry about nothing if he asked me. Your kids can do too much. So my son just got a full ride scholarship to Iowa. He was on his way up out of here to play basketball. He's gonna be the first person in my family to play Division I basketball. But he had to go to whatever it was. It was they sent him to a JUCO, whatever it was first, because they were so impressed with his motor and what he was doing in AAU basketball. And if I'm not loud enough, let me know too, man. But yeah. So I would say for myself, he went to college with some girl on Instagram, bought some weed from her. They said he took it. You know what I mean? I got two different stories. One story was he walked up to the window. She said, I don't sell weed out the window, get in the car. My son gets in the car, gets the weed. She says he runs off, so that's why she shot him. Now, my son got a pocket full of money. Okay? So if that was the case, I wouldn't understand that. He got a pocket full of money.
Yeah.
So then the other story was he got in a car, he seen the gun and thought she was trying to rob him. So he got out and took off and she shot him in the back of the head. And man, that was the worst day of my life, getting that phone call, that your son been shot. And I think research played me because research made me feel like, they really gave my son everything they could, but they really didn't. Research was more worried about trying to get me to donate my son's organs. Yeah. Different stuff, bro.
Mm.
But yeah, the lady, the girl that killed my son, I was super close with her mom. Her mom used to work with me in my travel business that I had. So she used to work under me in my travel business. So I was cool with her mom. So it was a mess. It was a mess, man. So she shot my son, and then the girl that was with her told her, "You can't leave him laying in the street like that. I'm not letting you do that." So her girlfriend told her that. So she went to the police, got there. So the good thing I will say, they did catch her right away. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And you had to have a conversation with her mama about this.
Yeah. She tried to play me. And it took everything inside of me not to really be crazy in the situation. But she tried to play me, bro. She was like, "Man, can you please tell the prosecutor that you're not tripping on that?" And try to get me to pretty much give her a lot less time. I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that your daughter killed my son, that's what you want? You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was crazy.
You had to deliver the news to your other kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was hard, man. You know, it was hard. And I don't know. I don't even know how I got through that, bro. I don't know how I got through it. I don't know how I just kept putting my faith in God, and I'm still going through it every day, But yeah, yeah, man. Yep. I had to tell him, and hey, this is what this is, man. And so my kids they was devastated, bro. Because Lil Matt was the life of the party.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Matt was the big brother that wasn't a big brother at the time. So, the whole family missed that dude, man. On a major level. Yeah.
For the forgiveness part, how did you get to the point where you forgave her?
I was enraged, man. I was enraged. I was starting nothing, but I gotta finish. And I was enraged. And sometimes being enraged, people don't understand the concept of everybody can get it.
Yeah.
And I was in that place. I was in that space of everybody can get it. I don't care who or where and why. If you say something to me, it's that. You feel me? And I knew I was gonna go to jail. I knew I was gonna go to jail, especially when the mama did what she did. I wanted to, kind of pull up on her and do some stuff. I'm like, "Man, you tripping, bro." You know what I mean? But I knew if I did not forgive them, I would hold on to that rage for the rest of my life, and I wasn't gonna stop until something happened to them. So this was the beginning of my forgiveness journey, uh, my major forgiveness journey. I had done some stuff in between there, but that was the beginning of my major forgiveness journey, having to forgive her for that.
Yeah.
And she shown no remorse in the courtroom. And I'm sitting right there looking at her, and she looking at it like it ain't nothing. Like she really want to smile and laugh. I'm glad she didn't, but that's what I'm really looking at. I'm like, wow, So yeah.
In your time of rage and like after that happened, was it hard for you to be present as far as the other kids, or would you still, mentally there, or would you?
I wouldn't say it was hard for me to be present. I think I was more present,
Okay.
because I was scared of, when you lose a kid, first thing that goes to your mind is what part did you play in that? What could I have done different? Why did this happen to me? Why my son? So it changes the way that you look at life when it comes to kids. So yeah, it made me closer. It made me closer. Try to spend more time with them. I can only do so much because of my businesses and all the stuff I got going on, but try to spend more time with them.
Yeah. Did you find I guess because you connected it to earlier, you connected it to like your dad not spending time with you, or not spending time with you, but stuff you were missing from your dad.
Yeah.
Did you find, knowing that you got all these businesses to run and then you got other kids and stuff, did you find more appreciation from your father? for your father in that time and understanding what he had to go through?
That was the moment. Me and my daddy, I felt like the daddy my first time. My daddy told me he loved me.
Mm.
When he seen the forgiveness that I was able to give this young lady, I felt like that was the first time my daddy told me he loved me. He said he'd done it before. I don't remember. But I felt like that was the first time. And so it really broke me down. You know, because I thrive for that. I thrive for my daddy to say, I love you, son, and I'm proud of you. That's it. I think that's why my sons now go so hard on a lot of levels, you know, because they just want my approval, you know, and my approval is there. You know, I'm proud of them. I love them anyway. But I think they fight so hard because they see my work ethic that they want to get the approval from me and things like that. So, yeah, me and my dad got closer, a lot closer, because of that reason.
Yeah.
The forgiveness that I gave this girl. Yeah. Yes, sir.
You talked about earlier also forgiving some of the people you had shootouts with and hiring them and what you do. What does a conversation like that look like? Like,
I think the conversation is, you know, sometimes you got to talk out of situation first to know what a situation really is. And most people don't. So when you don't talk out of situation, you don't even know what you were shooting for. So many people don't even know what they was into it for. Mm-hmm. All they know is you got into it with my homeboy and I'm with you. And I'm like, man, hold on, no, but you know what I'm saying? Your homeboy was this, or this was this. He's like, oh man, I didn't know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, boy, your boy was doing this. Your boy robbed me, bro. And so now you got, well, man, I apologize. I owe you that apology. Because I didn't know that part. I only knew my homeboy was my homeboy and I was protecting him. So just having a conversation, you will find out so many different things from men and women when it comes to fault because you had a conversation. And you'll realize that wasn't what, you know what I mean? It's been times that people will look at you like, man, this dude was looking at me crazy. He was funky. Nah, something's wrong with dude's head or something's wrong with dude's mind. But you didn't know that because he looking at the person behind you. He ain't even looking at you, but you just in that vicinity, so you didn't know that. So the cats that I would get into it with and I had issues with, after we talked it out and we realized, well, really, man, we tripping, bro. You tripping, I'm tripping. Let's get this money. Mm-hmm. That's just what it was. So, you know, I had a way to give people a chance to make a couple dollars. So that's what they did. Yeah. Yeah.
As you made mention earlier of what you do and the stuff you into now, and what is that?
I am a regional vice president for my financial services company. I've been doing that for 10 years now. You know, I help a lot of people to become business owners, right? You know, I've been doing that for 10 years, so I love that. And then also, I own AJ's Bar and Grill down on 11th and Grand, you know, 1116 Grand. So, to be able to do that, right? Grew up on 12th Street, you own a business on 12th Street. I am the only black-owned bar in all of downtown, right? So that's an accomplishment within itself, you know, and it's a rodeo. It's a rodeo, but I've been doing that. And then also with the financial services, man, I've helped thousands of people to learn how to build a business, stay out the way, change your mindset. Success is a mindset change away. And then when people understand just that one fact, people will be so much more successful when it's just they understand it's this small. It ain't a big, it ain't that, it's this small. And they be like, man, that's crazy, but it is. It's a mindset away when it comes to success. Yeah.
What's the transition like though from what you used to do to getting AJ's Bar and Grill, being the head of this financial service? Or you said you own it, or you?
I own it. So
owning
I own a company within a company.
Okay.
Right. So if you own McDonald's, you own McDonald's, but you own McDonald's.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I own a company within a company. So that's what I got. I own a McDonald's, but I don't own the actual McDonald's
franchise.
Yeah. There we go. So it was hard. It was hard because in my mind, I've been a boss my whole life. I've been a big dog. So being a big dog, coming from big dog status to having to now become one of the Indians, it was different. Because as a big dog, you think you know everything. You can't really tell me much of nothing. I know everything. And so when I say I know everything, anything you gonna throw my way, I got the answer to that. I was a store manager for 20 years. You see what I'm saying? So I was always the smart guy. I knew how everything worked or whatever. So for me, I think that was um, the defining thing for my transition. I wanted more. I always wanted to dress nice. I always wanted to be fly, dress in fly clothes. I seen them guys, and growing up, I always wanted that type of job that you could dress like this, and the women are fresh like this, and the guys are fresh like that. You got your Stacy Adams on. I always wanted that. And so this gave me an opportunity to do that. I met a guy named Ronell Burns. He was out of St. Louis, Missouri, by way of another guy named John Skates, and I was doing travel. And, they came up and hollered at me and like, man, you want to make some real money? You want to keep doing this? I'm like, man, what you talking about, man? I said, all y'all do is be coming with this pyramid scheme, bro, go on, man, or whatever. And so I wasn't trying to hear it. I'm like, man, go on, bro, I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? It's another one of them things, or you about to come to me with some crazy stuff. He was like, all right, man. So he showed me facts. Women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. He showed me facts, so he pulled his phone out. He said, I was just over there. You just seen me over there for 10 minutes, and I made $1,500. I said, whoa, show me that again.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Sure,
show me that again. So he's like, look. I said, you just made that over there. He's like, yeah, I just made that. So he did a dime, TIME, boom. I said, what is that? He showed me how to do it, turned the paper over, said, that's how we make the money. So he said, you make $1,800, you do it yourself, $400 if somebody else do it. But the biggest thing, I done joined for 18, I done joined for 4, I joined for 14. You get 10 people to do one policy a month or whatever. I'm like, wait a minute, bro, this is crazy. Like, so you trying to tell me something that everybody need, I can make this type of money? He's like, yeah. I said, man, sign me up. Let's rock. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I knew the mindset was I could always get another job, but you can't always find somebody to mentor you to change your life to make the type of money he made. So I'm like, all right, let's rock. Not too often we scared to jump. We scared of things that are outside of our comfort zone. Your brain is meant to keep you safe. Your brain ain't meant to tell you to jump. Your brain is meant to keep you safe. It's your safety zone. It's supposed to tell you that the stove is hot. Don't jump. Right? Your parents is your safety zone. Your parents are gonna tell you, don't do that. Because that's not guaranteed money. Right? Your parents don't want to have to, they don't want you to get in their pockets. They don't want that. We don't really celebrate success. We celebrate just the fact that our kids got a job. They ain't even in our pockets no more. We're happy about that. Right? And so that it ain't nothing that you was taught in school or nothing to be a CEO or be an entrepreneur. Everything is go to school, go to college and work for somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's all we taught. We ain't taught nothing else. It's crazy because you think about the people at Ford. They make more money than 90% of the world that have been to college 2 to 4 years. At Ford. But the people that went to school will act like you stupid. You uneducated. Well, wait a minute. You got an education and you making $20,000, $30,000 a year, but this dude at Ford making $100,000. So who's really the dummy? Right? That's the difference though. The difference is we've been made and trained to think that the person that's not like you or don't do what you told them to do, the person that don't spend college money, they stupid. Yeah.
You ever been in these business rooms and they try to little man you?
Yeah, when you first get started.
How did that feel coming from being the big man?
Oh, it's different, and you got to swallow your pride.
Were you able to do that when you at the first point?
It got ugly. In the beginning, it got real ugly. It was a lot of arguments, but I had a come to Jesus moment.
Okay.
And that come to Jesus moment, you'll realize that you got to get over yourself. And your own understanding got you where you are now. And if you're not happy with where you are now, you're not where you need to be. How do you get there? You got to learn from somebody else. Right? So my understanding got me where I was at then. Man, my understanding made me who I was at the time, but that ain't who I wanted to be. So if I kept doing what I was doing, I was gonna keep getting what I was getting. So in order for me to transition to make the money I wanted to make, he was making the type of money I wanted to make. So I gotta put my brain in his brain, and whatever he understood, I gotta understand. The way I think, I'm thinking, man, this party, it's my homeboy party. I'm there. Saturday, right? I'm in there. But that was my understanding. That's what I had to do, because that's my homeboy. The truth is, and he said, you can't go to that party. Send your homeboy a gift, he'll forgive you later. I'm like, man, I'm not, bro, I'm at the party. You feel me? He like, Matt, listen to what I just said. Send your homeboy a gift, let him know we gonna party. We gotta get this money, and your team is gonna be like this. This gotta be, I'm not understanding it. Because my only mindset has been my understanding. My understanding is ain't nothing wrong with going to the party. But the truth is, it's a lot wrong with going to the party. When you have so much at stake, you have other stuff that you got to do. You got to put all that stuff on the back burner. You got to get in shape and get ready for success. You got to be prepared. You got to have self-development, self-education, self-discipline. Man, listen, this thing is different, man. I had a come to Jesus moment, bro. I did. My understanding got me where I was, and I wasn't rich as I wanted to be, but he was rich as I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put my body in yours. Whatever you think, even if I don't agree, that's why you got a coach and a mentor. Even when you don't agree, you need to agree. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what it was for me. Even when I didn't agree, I agreed, and I let it be what it was, because I wanted his money. So now I make the type of money that he was making, right? I make the type of money he was making now. So Love Dad Company pays me almost $400,000 a year. Kid from the ghetto, right? I make the same amount of money that most CEOs of companies make. Never been to college. I took a 2-day class. You see what I'm saying? It's different, bro. It's different. Yeah. Like,
tough.
You feel me? Hey, man, it's different to being able to buy different stuff when I do what I want, when I want, how I want, man, because life is different. And so to be able to go back to my school and give out scholarships, to be able to give out $20,000, $30,000 worth of toys on a regular basis, to give out book packs and backpacks and do Easter egg hunts and, pull up on people. Man, I bless so many people, but I've never, ever, ever, I don't believe in putting people on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it.
Got you.
I think if you did it and you had to put them on Facebook, you did it for the wrong reasons. So if I walk up on people, man, that are bums, and here, I see people, let me quit using that word. Less fortunate. I apologize.
I just had to figure out a word myself for that.
Yeah. So less fortunate.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you what's crazy about that, man, when you talk about the less fortunate. What's crazy about that is we mock them, but we knock them, but we don't know why. We don't know why. Bro, if you lost your mama, your sister, your cousin in a car wreck, are you going to be the same person? Bro, if you lost your whole family, and your whole family got killed in a fire, are you going to be the same person? Bro, them people are out there for a reason. And we sit here and we mock them and we talk about them, but you don't even know why they out there. You're like, man, how does it? You see beautiful women out there. You see good brothers out there. Nice looking brothers. You say, man, it's too wild. You out here, bro. But you don't understand. They fighting something mental that you'll never know. That's why I don't judge people, man. I don't judge people. Mm-hmm. I don't judge people for who they are. People know who they are for a reason. You know how we say, oh man, she a HOE and all this other stuff, but you don't know that her daddy and her brothers and every man that was in her life that loved her touched her. Yeah. So she don't know no better. She don't have no hope. Every man that she's ever believed in took her innocence from her. You understand what I'm saying? Real. Bro, 70-80% of women been touched. Yeah. 70-80% of women been touched. And we go through life not understanding that, because men, we don't go through that. Man, we don't go through that. We don't go through that. Well, a lot of men, let's say 90% of men. Some of these men do go through that sometimes. But we don't go through that, man. So how can you understand what a woman is going through when you ain't never been there? You feel what I'm saying? So that's where my mindset has been different. Man, I stopped judging people. Man, I used to be that dude that used to talk about people. But her priorities is messed up. Well, who taught her? That's where we hit people in their stomach. Well, who taught her how to have right priorities? Who taught her the right way? Because her mama was like this. Her daddy wasn't nowhere to be found. So this is all she knows. So why are you talking about her instead of talking about her helper? Say, baby, come here. Let me show you something better. Let me help. Nah, that ain't what we do as people. We just knock you as people. We talk bad about you as people. We trash you as people instead of saying, this little girl dressed like this because her daddy been touching her. So her uncle or her cousin, her mama's boyfriend been touching her since she was 6 years old. So this is how she gets her love, by showing her body. This is how she gets her attention, because this is the only way she feels loved. Mm. But you a classy woman. What have you done for her? Did you take her to church? Did you show her something different? Did you? Because the only way that they say black people get that kind of love is in church. The church is just as bad sometimes. You see what I'm saying? So that's the question, bro. You gotta quit judging people, man. You got people are who they are because they go through what they go through, man. But you know, my blessings come tenfold, man, because I do so much for people. And I take pride in knowing it ain't a man on this earth that can say, man, robbed you. I took nothing from you. You can't say none of that about me. You can't say nothing but Matt's trying to give you the best. The people that hate me are the people that I help the most. The people that hate me are the people that I try to help the most, that I try to get the most money to, that I try to do the most for. But I pride myself in that. I pride myself in going from the slumps to the Trumps. You feel what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm just getting started. This thing gonna pay me $1 million a year when I'm not, listen, bro, I'm on my way and I'm gonna take some people with me that wanna go. But unfortunately, it ain't always the people that you want to go.
Yeah.
Right? Unfortunately, it ain't always people you want to go. My team of people, my team that I've been building, man, I don't know none of them. I didn't know none of them before this business. And the cats that was right there with me that watched me come from the slums said, no, what I'm doing, I can't. What? But if I had the pack, and I said, hey, bro, I got the pack. Let's go. Oh, let's go. You can do that, though. But as people, we can do anything we put our mind to. We can achieve anything we put our mind to, man. So I love coming from, where I came from to being able to be now in rooms with people where I used to be intimidated to being in rooms with them people. Eddie V's and all these rich people that got money and nice. I didn't belong in there, bro. I couldn't see myself being in corporate rooms with executives that's making all this money, and now I'm somebody for you to meet. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm somebody for you to meet. Mm-hmm. Bro, listen, I get it. That's great, but I'm somebody for you to meet. I go in places now, I don't even look at the menu. I don't look at the prices. I used to, man, I can't. I took 15, 20 people that did these before. Pay for everybody. Different. You feel what I'm saying? Different life. In stretch limos and gave them $1,000 and blew money on people, man, because of this blessing that God got for me. You understand what I'm saying? Huh?
I said, and didn't sweat.
I didn't look at the bill or nothing. The lady came with the bill. I said, here. And she stood there. She looked at me. She said, holy crap. She looked at the color of my skin. Mm-hmm. She was like, holy crap. I'm like, yeah. She's like, you're not even going to open it? I'm like, no. Just go pay for it. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? But it's because, again, I'm not going to sit here and say, I've always been this way, because I'm not. I haven't. I've had my ups. I've had my downs. I've had my struggles. I've taken my losses. I've done all of that. But boy, when I say I'm a serial entrepreneur, I'm a serial entrepreneur. Yeah. And I own line services, concession stands. I did that for years. I did promoting. I brought a lot of artists here. I did that. I did a whole lot of investing in a lot of concerts. You name it. R&B concerts, rap concerts. I did that. I did artistry. Sports was my biggest thing. I love sports. So, man, I've been involved in a lot of stuff. I've been involved in a lot of stuff, man. I get a lot of blessings. So I know a lot of people for those reasons. And but yeah, bro. I love life, man. I love life. And if people could simply understand the difference between winning and losing and success, is that it's a blink of a mindset. It's mindset. People can't win. I ain't nobody special. It's just mindset. And if I can get in your head and I can get you to just turn the switch just a little bit, your life can be completely different. The difference between what you're making now and 6 figures is Simple mindset shifts. That's why I pride myself in doing what I'm doing, because nobody came and got me. Nobody said, come here, young man, let me give you a chance. Get out the streets, man. This ain't for you. Come here. I got something for you. You too young to be in these streets. Nobody gave me that chance. I didn't start doing what I was doing until I was 36. Right? I started doing this at 36, bro. I've been in 10 years now. You know what I'm saying? I'm 46 now. So my whole life of the stuff that I've been through, nobody opened the door and said, come here, let me show you the way. But I'm doing that. I just recruited another young, like 18-year-old young man. I just put him in the business. It's gonna be everything, man. I got 18, 19-year-old young man. I've been a father figure, mentor to so many, man. It's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. That's why I'm so hard losing my son. I'm like, man, hold on, bro. I'm keeping 1,000 kids out the street. How mine? How this happen to mine? Hey, when I say I got the party house, I keep all the kids out the street. I didn't pay, man, my basketball team, they didn't pay for nothing. And the parents know it. Every once in a while, they might put a little something. I pay for the tournaments. I pay for the out-of-town trips. I pay for the hotels. I pay for the travel. I pay for all that. Now, I had a couple of parents that would kick in to help.
Yeah.
But I'm out on the corner sometimes fundraising with the kids. I'm out on the corner doing whatever. But I didn't have no fundraisers, no nothing. I didn't have no parents that really helped me fundraise. I only had 1 or 2 parents that was around. Bro, my kids didn't pay for nothing. I paid for everything. But that's a blessing that I was able to receive. God made a way. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, from nothing to something. You know, it's what I tell people, man. Just coming from the bottom to where I'm at now, it's been a blessing, man. I'm involved with a lot of great men doing some great things. So, yeah, AJ is something different.
Yeah. Going back a little bit to helping people that are less fortunate.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a great turnaround story from that? You know how you were saying, like, hey, why you here? Let me help you up out this. Have you ever had a great time? Because a lot of times, a lot of us try to do that with people and they end up right back where they were. And I can understand how it can lead back that way because you ain't used to this type of stuff. But have you had a success story with that?
Several. But I think I have way more stories of what you just said. Some people going back.
Yeah.
Because lazy is easy.
Yeah.
Change is hard. It's hard to accept that you wasn't what they told you was. It's hard to accept that you wasn't as smart as they told you was, or you don't know everything. Well, I wouldn't say smart, but you wasn't as knowledgeable in certain areas that you thought you was, where you thought you knew everything and nobody could ever do nothing wrong. So I got a lot of success stories, man. I've taken a lot of young ladies from nothing to making 6 figures a year and, you know, handle this, I helped a lot of young ladies do that, man. You know, that's really the key, man. Just really watching, you know, let me say this too. Just because they're not in your organization don't mean you didn't help them.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So I've been on so many countless training calls and so many countless inspirational calls and motivational calls that I've helped so many women and men do that it's been everything. You know, I've had an opportunity to speak in front of thousands of people, you know, and tell my story and really do what I do, man. So that's next level within itself. But yeah, the stories is there, man. The stories is there of people that I took from the streets to doing good, but then some people just can't. They gonna go back to doing what they was doing because it's easier. Business is hard, man. Entrepreneurship is hard. Standing on your own too and your own understanding is hard. People don't understand how big that is, right? So that's really what it was for me. Just understanding that business and opportunity is hard, man. Everything is hard, but you can do it. You just gotta want to do it.
I just got a few more for you. With owning a bar,
yeah,
as a black man, especially in the area where you live, what's the hardest thing you've had to deal with both sides? Our side and the white side. Let's just say the white side and the black.
They don't want me down there, bro.
Mm.
I'm going through lawsuits right now. They do not want me down there. I'm getting harassed by the police. They coming in my place. I mean, they do not want me down there, and they got petitions across the street to get me out, trying to get me lawsuits and get me out. I mean, this is we going through hell down there. right? That's why they got that lawsuit on Westport, because they was doing the same thing down there.
Yeah.
But I'm getting it on a whole nother level because it was already kind of put there, and I'm the only one down there.
Yeah.
So dealing with that, I got a great lawyer that's on top of that right now. So we going through a whole process as well, man. But I say that's really the hardest part on that side, just dealing with them, not wanting us down there. So they don't support us. They see us and keep walking. They don't want to, because again, the narrative of what the news painted of us, right? They don't show the same thing that's happened out in the suburbs, even though he done did this and he done shot somebody. They're not going to show that. But if you did that in the city, or it was black, they going to show that, right? So what they show is people think we like all these people that are here for FIFA. They think we slaves. They don't value us. They look at us like we garbage, man. Like we some trash. Because this is the narrative that's been painted out there in the world. This is why I tell people, when you get to sharing somebody's stuff or sharing somebody fighting, you're part of the problem.
I hate it.
You're part of the problem, man. So we give them fuel to the fire to be part of the problem. When you sharing somebody slapping somebody or fighting or shooting or, man, we to the point where we putting dead bodies on Facebook, man. That's crazy. I seen it. My daughter showed me something the other night, man. Dude was in a barber chair. I mean, brains everywhere, leaking out. I said, man, hey, don't show me no stuff like that. But even when those, God rest in peace, when stuff happened here, tragedy, and people just recording it, like, man, come on, man, you got to be better than that. That's somebody's kid. That's somebody's son. That's somebody's daughter, and she laying there, and you wanna record that, man. But we part of the problem. And then when we record it, guess what the news do? They take it and do what they do with it, man. So, part of the problem, man. But the hardest part for me, as far as running the bar, is dealing with my own people. That's crazy to say. But dealing with my own people, man, because as a African American owner, and being a friend, being cool with people, it's to be taken advantage of all the time. It's to be taken advantage of because you are who you are. And it's not because you do something right or wrong. It's just you're going to always be taken advantage of because your kindness will be, they're going to use your kindness, they're going to take your kindness for your weakness. So running a bar, understanding that we have so much violence in our community. So you gotta be so right from the mess and people robbing each other, beating people up, and he robbed him, so now you want to come kill him because he heard he at your spot. She did this and she set her baby daddy up, so he want to come get her because he at your spot. You know what I'm saying? So just really the violence, because you done put $100,000, $200,000-$300,000 in this place, and tomorrow somebody gets shot, you lost your $200,000. It ain't nothing you can do. I'm talking about there ain't nothing you can do. It's all gone, right? So just understanding that you can invest your money in a place, put all your time and effort in a place, and one situation is gone. It ain't nothing you can do about it. So that's the hard part. And just really, like I said, dealing with a group of women. Most bars are filled with women and not filled with men, right? So it's hard to manage so many women at one time. It's tough, man. It's tough. Yeah. I'm talking about It's tough. Beyond tough. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say. For me. You know what I mean? That's the hardest part.
We were talking about God and your calling earlier, and you talked about how not too long ago you talked about how lazy is easy, but also comfortability can be easy and your regimen can be like easy. It's so hard for you to make that transition over to what you feel like your calling is. What is it that people come to you and tell you that they feel your calling is? And do you feel like that's your calling? And what's keeping you from it?
Of course, the people that are around me, what I'm in now, they know my calling is, mentoring, coaching. But it's always been pastoralship, when you go, yeah. So it's always been that for a long time, man. And yeah, I get that all the time. I get mentorship. I get inspirational, but that's the main one I get. But again, like I told you before, I have a level of fear for that. I fear doing, it's almost like I feel like I'm gonna mess up. And then I contradict myself because that comes back to the business. Like, you're not supposed to fear nothing. You're supposed to just do it. And you got to jump. You got to take a leap of faith. But, I don't know, man. I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I'm
It's a bit uncomfortable.
more than uncomfortable, man. Something about it terrifies me. And I'm gonna tell you why. Something about it terrifies me because, to me, my dad doesn't have a life. He ain't living. You got what I'm saying? He go to church, funerals, church, Bible study again, church event, back home.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And to me, that's not an attractive life. Right? I want to go to Miami, sit on a yacht, have a sip. You know what I mean? I want to go out of town, over here. I want to enjoy life. I like comedy shows. I like funny stuff. I just don't think my dad can do none of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? When you're a pastor, you can't be in no comedy show with Mojo Brooks saying some silly stuff that he's saying.
That nigga funny.
I'm saying, bro, you can't, bro. You can't do it. And I love life, bro. I worked hard to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Let me interrupt, bro. I think we this is just from my point of view. I think we get the whole pastor thing and just think you gotta be on a podium, think you gotta be in a church and all of that. First of all, you are the church. Secondly, I feel like we gotta meet the world where it is a lot of the times. So if you out on a yacht in Miami and you feel the spirit moving in you to put something on somebody, that's the word. Your tithes to me is that philanthropy that you do out in the streets and stuff. You showing people how to tithe. You giving back to God's people.
Come on,
because all these people is God's people. You can reach people through what you do. It's just how you do it and not doing, as long as you ain't promoting the negative stuff, I don't see a reason why you can't still have fun. I don't feel like God is like, stop your life. Because a lot of times, a lot of us aren't meant to reach those people when those invite that type of setting. You're meant to reach them how he put you there to reach them. Yeah. And I don't know if that's right, but I'm just saying, like, I think we remove ourselves from a lot of, like, pushing people into that direction when we think we're supposed to be in a certain place to do it.
When I say, if you get on my training, you would think I'm already doing it because we pray every training. We pray before, after. We pray a lot. We talk about God a lot, and we come up with we talk about a lot of Bible scriptures. We go through a lot of stuff, man. We break stuff down. What does that scripture mean to you? So you would think, I'm already in that realm, but you're right. You're 100% correct. I'm going to be honest. I think something about me makes me nervous when it comes to that, not understanding what I can and can't do. Probably because, like I said, the examples before me, nobody made the life look glorifying. Nobody made the life look like I want that. You know what I mean? But like you said, you can be a part of church, man. You can be a youth pastor. You don't have to be the head pastor. You don't have to be, it's up to you. You can just be a part of the church. You can be a assistant pastor. You can be a part, You can do that. I just know me. I've been a leader in everything. So at some point, I'm be the head pastor. And then when I become the head pastor, it's like, let me make sure I'm on my game. So I don't know. You're right though.
Yeah, if that's what happens, that's just a part of the journey.
Yeah.
And you got to just embrace it along the way and not being like, I'm going to have to not go to pastors go on trips too. Now, what you do when you go on the trip is a little different. You can still have fun, bro. You can still buy your cars and stuff like that. You're giving back. Solomon had everything.
Let me ask you this, because this is a good subject. Let me ask you this. So you're a man of God.
I feel like so. Yes, sir.
So my question is, you on a cruise and you single. All these women is on this cruise and you single and all these women want you. They ready to go, right? A certain part of you ain't supposed to do that. because you're a man of God and you're a believer. So a certain part of you ain't supposed to do that. But then another part of you says, let me meet the world where it's at. Right? Do you feel like it's okay to do that? Do you feel like it's okay to just go ahead and live a little bit? Do you feel like it's okay to have? Because our flesh is the weakest thing we have. Yeah. Right? And so do you feel like that's okay? Or do you feel like that's not something that that's not okay?
I feel like even Jesus was tempted. The devil tried to offer him the everything. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And he still found the way to fight through it. Like, I mean, we all got our own battles, and you don't become a pastor and lose being tempted. Them same women you were talking about on the yacht and all that stuff, there'd be some bad women in church.
Yes, it do.
And who's the lead of the church? The pastor. Who they all gunning for a lot of the time? The pastor, the women coming up to the pastor. You got to learn how to fight temptation. That's just another fight for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't run away from the fight. Embrace it. I work at a place where I feel like it's a lot of good looking women, nice shapes and everything. But I'm married and I appreciate my marriage so much and don't want to disappoint her or God. My kid,
Can't even see it. I love it.
Yeah. I can see it.
Talk about the women.
I can see the women.
Yeah.
But I know it don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? I got a greater purpose. And not saying I can't mess up. I'm human. And I get tempted like anybody else by the worldly things. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, you're never going to not be tempted.
Gotcha.
That's how I feel. You never, even like your dad has been tempted. Yeah. If he tell you he ain't lying. Everybody's been tempted, bro.
Yeah, never
like, and if your dad is still like a straight dude after doing all that,
yeah, he'll say, look, but don't lust.
Yeah. And, you know he's messed up, I'm sure, before. Yeah. I ain't even talking about with women, just in a way he shouldn't have. So I'm just saying, like, bro, I think you can be the one that, like, I've been on a trip with my homeboys to Miami. And they was on something and I wasn't on it. Yeah. And they just like, nigga, I don't know how you doing it. You know what I'm saying? But I just knew it was a greater purpose for me. And not to say I couldn't mess up.
Man, that's big, bro. Yeah. I'm here. I'm gonna get my life together.
Yeah. On your time.
Gotta just strive for greatness, man. Every day I can. I wake up every day and try to be great. So I don't deny what you said. I don't. I'm with you. That's my only thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, I'm terrified, man. But the rest is the rest, man. So yeah. I mean, I appreciate the interview, man. I appreciate you having me, man. I appreciate you giving me the platform. It's a blessing. You know, this is not something that's taken lightly. I think a lot of people, if they knew about the channel, more people will watch. Yeah. So it's something that we all, as people, we got to promote this, man. 'Cause this is big. And, you know, giving people a platform to talk and really get their stuff out and get they thing out, their issues and their mindset, man, is everything, man. So, yes, sir.
Man, I appreciate you choosing us, and I appreciate all you say you do for the community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Another thing I will ask you to do to leave us marked out, that's just words for the minds and the hearts, and to pray us out.
Yes, sir. Well, my words for the minds and the heart, man, is hopefully my story, my ability to be able to forgive, my ability to be able to let go, and understand and inspire. You know, I just inspire as many people as I can inspire to go do something great. Just be a person of character, be a person of just be have integrity, man. And we gotta stop worrying about what everybody think about us. It's bigger than you. Get over yourself. Right? And when you understand it's bigger than you, get over yourself. School taught us what we need to learn to get through school. Right? But the world is going to teach you what you need to learn every day to be great. Self-educate yourself. Self-discipline, man. All those different things. Prepare for success. And know you're successful before you're successful. Know you can do it. Know that it's done. We serve a God that you got to have faith. But faith without works is dead. Right? And so many times our people perish because of the lack of knowledge. Because we won't pick up a book. 95% of people have never touched a book after they got out of school. Never. They've never read the book. Nothing. So the knowledge ain't being transferred like it should be because we're not reading. We're not trying to be better. We get out of school, we take that deep breath. Like, I don't want nothing else to do with no school. I'm done. But I promise people that are successful, CEOs, millionaires, they're readers. Now, I mean, you got to sit and read a book, but sometimes you got to play audiobooks and let it read to you. Sometimes you got to watch a movie. A movie is a book, right? Some movies are books. So you got to be able to do that, man. But the blessing for me on my life has been there. So, like I said, man, hopefully somebody sees this and says, I'm going to forgive somebody for the pain that they caused me, because forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. You're not forgiving them. You're forgiving you're forgiving them so you can understand that I need to get that off of me, right? Forgiveness can cause so much stress on your heart and on your mind and everything that you're going through, right? That it can hurt you, and people die because they stressing over something that they can't control. I never stress over something I can't control, right? And that's really my words, man, that I leave them with, man. And I definitely pray us out. You ready for me to do that?
Before you pray, I just want to say one more thing. Your level of forgiveness is a level of connection to God and God's love that a lot of people haven't reached.
Yeah.
For the things you've forgiven for.
Yeah.
It's a level tough, a lot of people haven't reached yet.
Tough.
So I think you gotta give yourself more credit for being in that lane going towards your purpose. But that's all I wanted to say.
The hardest thing in the world to forgive somebody for is when they take one of your children from you.
Yeah.
And that's a different level, bro. But again, I'm not gonna be. I got other kids. I got other people. I got other family that's looking for. They looking for me, and if I can't be the person that they need, I'm killing them. Think about that. How often do we kill our other kids because we, you know what I mean? I'm killing my other kids because I'm sitting there holding on to this pain, and I don't want to talk to them, and I'm mad. I want to kill this girl. I want to do some crazy stuff, and I'm holding on to this pain, but I can't let it go. So I kill my other kids because of that, man. That's crazy. So I gotta let go. I gotta, man, when you truly understand how powerful we are as beings, you understand, man. You understand, you gotta forgive. You gotta forgive people, man. You gotta let that baby daddy go. Let that boyfriend go. Let that chick go that hurt you, cheated on you, robbed you. Let that go, man. You know what I'm saying? Live your life. Let that go, man. Keep on pushing. And if we have more people to do that, man, Kansas City will be what it is, man. Kansas City is like it is because we can't find people to forgive and let go of stuff, man. We want to fight and shoot about everything. So we're finding a reason, man. So, man, you about to keep me talking in another 10, 15, 20 minutes, man. I got issues, man. But yeah, let's go ahead and pray and get out of here. Father God, I just want to first and foremost thank you for today. Every day above ground is an absolutely amazing day, Father God. And I thank you for every breath, every step, every thought, everything, Father God. Thank you for somebody today. They didn't wake up. Somebody today didn't have an opportunity to turn on some lights, to have a roof over their head, Father God, to eat a home-cooked meal. Somebody didn't understand that. And so we're a race of ungratefulness, Father, but I want to tell you right now, I come for you humbly. I thank you. I appreciate everything, and I'm going to keep giving back and letting everybody know the best way I can how wonderful you are. Father God, thank you for being so forgiving. We sin on a regular basis, and you are forgiving. So if you can forgive us for what we've done over and over and over again, we should be able to forgive someone else. Who are we not to be able to forgive when we sin so much and we want you to forgive us, Father God? So we thank you for being such a forgiving Father, a loving Father. Touch our families, Father God. Touch my family. Touch this interview. It touches a lot of people and touches souls all over. Father God, touch the interviewees and then them giving us a platform to be able to talk and give people a chance to speak their mind and speak their truth, Father God. We thank you for all that you do, Father God. We love you. We appreciate you. And so many things that we pray in your name. Amen.
Amen. The goal is to leave a lasting imprint on their minds and their hearts. We pray you've been indelibly marked. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. My God. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. We're making it happen, man.